Welcome back to the realistic road to glory, everyone. You join us on the opening couple of days of the January transfer window here in our first season at Premier League level, seventh season total for the save. We have had a bid early doors for Donangelo Canadu. It's from Crystal Palace, who rather resoundingly slapped me yesterday, but despite the fact that they're not that far above us in the table, their starting lineup and their squad depth and quality in depth is outrageous. Canadu would be 4th or 5th choice at Crystal Palace, whereas obviously he's starting for us, and we're not that far behind them in the table, so I am going to reject that one. I'm sure you guys fully understand the reasoning behind why we're rejecting that one. Our financial situation at this stage is as follows. We've 29 million in the budget, but 25 of that we're keeping in hand for the loan to buy clause in Mikic's loan deal. So really, I've only got about 4 million available to me. We're over wage budget at the moment. We're allowed to go over wage budget by 20%, so it's not too much of a concern. We may well get some bids for some first team players in this window. We already have for Canadu. We may get more. And if someone more sizable and more reputable comes in for Donangelo Canadu, we may well end up seeing the Dutchman leave us. But for the time being, we are keeping hold of our men and not looking to spend any money ourselves. We might maybe look for another loanee if we need to. We've got some youth players that are terminating their contracts, but that's just because they're being little bitches. So we shall crack on and play Burnley. We start with Burnley. We've got a cup game against QPR in the FA Cup, which obviously we'd love to do well in now that we're at Premier League level. Now that we're having a decent enough season, we can briefly focus on the FA Cup, but obviously we don't want to let our league form slip so much so that we get embroiled in a relegation battle. Then we've got Leeds away after that, which is a big game, of course. The plan is to split the January transfer window into two and then have Crystal Palace again tomorrow, as well as Aston Villa at home and deadline day itself. Obviously, it can very quickly turn into a particularly busy transfer window, even though we, at the moment, don't have massive plans. Same thank you to Ricky and Rory and Manny on the board behind me. Both have very kindly raided us on stream in the past half an hour or so as we record this. And same thank you to Cam as well for his support in the live chat. Do keep your comments coming in the comments section, and you'll stand a chance of being up on the board behind me in one of the upcoming episodes. And of course, do subscribe to the channel to make sure you don't miss out on any more of this content. Drop the video a like as well, it'd be great. And join me on stream so you can come and see every minute of every game that we play. Links are in the description down below where you can come across and join me on either Twitch or YouTube for the live streams. But for now, we're headed to Valley Parade as Bradford take on Burnley. And this time, hopefully, we can get a return to winning ways. Burnley are all right, to be fair. Not as strong as the Everton side that were in the relegation zone earlier in the season, but still pretty good team. Juan Garcia in goal. Nico Williams, Mark Gay, Carter Vickers, a new left-back signing, Abner Vinicius out there. New midfield signing, Artur Vermeeren in the midfield alongside Shet Decore. Oscar Bob on the right, Ivan Hamey on the left, Clinton at cam and Tresoldi up top at striker again. Still got Billy Gilmore. He's on the bench now as they brought in Vermeeren. Rafinha's on the bench rather than getting the start this time as Oscar Bob gets the nod. And they've got some other good enough players, but certainly we feel like Burnley are a side that we could do something against. Wadsworth gets the start, Van der Haar and Stevenson as well, as we've rotated a little just to give some fringe players a bit more first team football. Obviously Leighton Clarkson hasn't had the impact we had hoped for in the starting lineup, with 92 finishing, or what was 92 finishing, maybe a little bit more, and being in the more forward thinking midfield role. I certainly would have liked some goals from him this season. We haven't gotten them, but that might just be because of the nature of the opponents we're coming up against. We mentioned at the end of the last episode that we're only averaging a goal a game at the minute in the Premier League. Oh, what a ball that would have been. Only averaging a goal a game at the minute in the Premier League. And obviously we were free scoring at Championship level for 2 seasons in a row. So it's because of the level we're at that we're not scoring goals. Not necessarily because of the lack of quality we have in the side. It's more the outrageous quality we're playing against week in, week out, more often than not. We'll try and create something here again in the early stages, but no, not able to do so. But at least the defence are doing their job so far today. 0-0 after 10. Stevenson looking for Canadu, finding him well. Man that Crystal Palace was showing some interest in. Might get an assist here and does, and Will Lancashire gets the goal They basically set up each other, Lancashire and Canadu. That's why they're our top goal scorers and top creative players. Because they just pass the ball to one another and then the other one scores. 1-0. It's Clinton now. Little 1-2. A little 1-2-3. Abdul Vinicius, Ivan Hamey. Clinton's definitely playing as a half winger because he's drifted a long way wide. It's a lovely 1-2 though. Tresoldi with a good turn. Trying to keep them out here. Is he offside? No. But Stevenson puts in it. Where are you going? Well, they've fired wide, but he's just doing his best fucking Simone Zaza impression in reverse. Wadsworth. Gabe getting a rare start at Premier League level here, but he's certainly making the most of it so far. And Canadu will look to get inside and then look to bend this. And Canadu doesn't add a second. Could have made the pass, but felt like going for it on Canadu's favoured side. And space was there to try and find the corner, but couldn't do it. It's good footwork, but Van der Haar deals with it really well. Van der Haar doesn't get the opportunity to play very often, and he really wants to make an impression. To be fair, he has done. Canadu, can he do it this time? No, not able to find the target again. Still 1-0, and we will go in at half-time with that lead. I just want to go in at full-time with that lead, please, ref, if you don't mind. Boulat to Odor. I didn't quite make my mind up quickly enough there, and I've lost possession because of it. Tresoldi, Clinton, well in, Van der Haar. That was meant for Odor. It will find Boulat. Space. I see the space. Can we find him over the top? Looking for Canadu. It's a great ball by Odor if Canadu can get there, which he can. Deliver it. And the man at the back post is Boulat. Doesn't get there. Can Lancashire win this? Yes! Can he score? No! Give it down the line for Shaq. It's going to get there ahead of Nico Williams as he is. And he's left him for dead. Tuck it back. Lancashire. Wadsworth! Oh, mate. Gabe Wadsworth scoring in the Premier League for Bradford. Not something you could possibly ever imagine in real life. We were nearly able to make those dreams come true. Tresoldi does get the pass away. Stevenson's going to have to do well here. Out we go with Hoyer. Clutch Clark on the breakaway. And Leighton Clarkson, who's off the bench. I've just noticed how much space Will Lancashire has. Surely from here. Oh, what a save! Juan Garcia. Escobar been involved again. Delivering the ball of his own. And I think he was offside at the back post, thankfully. He was indeed. We're in the 90th minute. It'll be a massive 3 points for us, given the way that the results have gone recently, if we're able to see this through. 2 minutes added on, and we're into the second of them. Looking for Lancashire here, who'll look to just race away. I could go for the corner. We could also try and get that into Leighton Clarkson, who has the shot, gets there ahead of one defender, but cannons it off. Gahey, Clarkson will deliver the corner himself. We'll try and grab a second from the corner, and Van der Haar heads wide, but it's enough with just the one. I used the phrase earlier in the game. You don't see many 1-0ers these days in this save. Well, as they've both been shopping at the same coat shop, we have seen a 1-0er, and thankfully it's in our favour. Bradford 1, Burnley 0. As Liverpool draw with Chelsea. FA Cup tie against Queen's Park Rangers next. Any bids in the meantime? We have had... okay, so Bergstrom has been approached by Trabzonspor on a free contract. I still want Lucas Bergstrom to be our #1 goalkeeper at this stage. He's not put a foot wrong, really. He's maybe made the occasional mistake, but certainly in the early stages of the season, he was making a number of saves that kept him and us winning games. So I am going to renegotiate with Lucas Bergstrom here and try and keep him at the club. Obviously, at the moment, he's only on 19 grand a week. He only wants important, not crucial, though, which is actually good for us. He's got 5 months remaining on his contract. We'll offer him another 3 years, which he's happy with. No release clause is fine by me. And actually, he doesn't want that much of a wage rise, which I'm quite glad about, actually. We'll remove the bonus, but we'll give him £29,500 a week. I was expecting him to actually ask for like 40 to 50 grand, and I'm really glad he hasn't. 29.5, he will sign. £29,500. So we'll have to adjust that, obviously, on our squad tracker, and it will put us further over budget by another 10 grand, 29,500. But he's now got 3.5 years left, so he's got 4 years left on his deal. So that puts us now £25,000 over wage budget. But we still got basically £83,000 left of our allowed overspend. Malcolm Duff is back from his loan with Reading. It's worth noting as well. So we're paying all of his wages now rather than just the 40%. But that only added like an extra grand on. So it's not that bad at the moment. But we will keep Lucas Bergstrom at the club. Oh, and signing bonus of 270,000. We need to put in the spend tracker as well. So I should be curious to know what our financial situation looks like in terms of our profit loss this season. We were significantly losing. It was £46 million loss last time I checked. It's now only 44.8. So we are making a bit of money as the weeks go by. But obviously we spent £50.8 million in the transfer window at the beginning of the season. So that's why we're losing as much money as we are technically. If we'd broken even in the transfer window, we would be in profit for the year. So I'm quite happy with that thus far. Financially, we're all right. But like we say, we might well be seeing some more bids for players as time goes by here. No more bids at the moment, though. So we will head into this game. At least I don't think so. No. We'll head into this game in the FA Cup against Queen's Park Rangers. And fingers crossed, get ourselves through to the next round of the FA Cup. QPR line up with Joe Walsh in goal. Blake Walters at right back. Bogdan Kowalczyk at centre-back alongside Shane Reed and then Ziad Larkesh at left-back. So mainly youth prospects in their defensive areas. Kenneth Parle and Sam Field in the midfield. Daniel Benny has scored against us, plays well against us as well when we were in the Championship. Tomasz Pienko is on the left-hand side for them. Taylor Richards at cam, former Cambridge United loanee. In fact, I think he's wearing a Cambridge kit in his little picture. And Jean Sellar is still up top for them. Morgan Fox now only 59 rated. Elias Chair on the bench. Charlie Kelman, Kieran Morgan, some more youth prospects. Nicholas Masson has always played well against us whenever he's been putting on a QPR shirt. We're playing an entirely rotated 11 here, just because the fixture list has been pretty brutal of late. So I'm giving all my first team players a rest. But still, our side is competitive compared to theirs. And there are a couple of first team players, or certainly players that were first team for us last year at the Championship level that are in the 11 here. Duff getting a start now that he's back from his loan spell with Reading. And Clarkador trying to prove that he's still got what it takes at least Championship level for when he potentially leaves us. But every time we think about letting Clutch Clark go, you guys in the comment section tell me to give him another year's extension. So we'll wait and see what happens this time around. Wadsworth forward to Odua and Duff making the run forward. And Michael Duff runs, or Malcolm Duff even, runs straight into a defender. Can't quite get there. Around the corner. Pienko. Still going. Good footwork. Larkesh. Well picked off by Van der Haar. Odor quickly forward looking for Kieran Bowie, who will spread it for the left back, who's got plenty of space to get into here. Adramola, and finds Schroeder brilliantly. Schroeder's got some pace, the youngster. Not got much technical ability, but he is quick, and sometimes that's all you need at a slightly lower level. Having two much lower rated players out on the wing is probably going to make things slightly more difficult for us, but hopefully we'll still be able to get what we need. Duff's in here, but it goes down. The fans call for a pen. We don't get one. Wadsworth has the shot, and Walsh saves. Elaine van der Haar, Adore. Wadsworth does well. Out wide to Schroeder, who was begging for it. Dinked in, and Bowie's there, and Bowie heads over the top. Well in, Giovanni. Top work. Plenty of space out there, and on his left foot, he's going to be able to sweep that really well indeed. Schroeder will lay that in front of Bowie. It's a poor pass. Just we need that little bit of quality out on the wing. It's something that we definitely don't have in this particular fixture at the moment with the players we've got out on the field. Certainly on the left-hand side. Anyway, Duff might be able to do something on the right, but on the left, Schroeder is like 59 rated, so I'm not expecting much from him. If he can cause some problems with some pace, then that's great. Rather evidently, we're not seeing the quality of pass we might well need at times. Lovely little flick round the corner. And can Duff do something? No. Ooh, it's going to be 0-0 at half-time here. Obviously, no replays in the FA Cup anymore, so it will go to extra time if we don't find a winner. Wadsworth looking for Bowie, finding him. Here's Duff on the overlap. Malcolm Duff in the box. Malcolm Duff. Malcolm Dud so far, unfortunately. Sellar. Oh, that's really nicely done. Richards. It's broken free for him. Sellar racing away. Oh my lord, off the underside of the bar and then wide with a follow-up header. One of them had to go in, surely. Ramola. Out wide to Shaq Ford. That's a foul ref. Some of the bigger boys are on the pitch now. Will Lancashire has entered the fray. So has Shaq Ford. Made a change in midfield too to try and improve. Leighton Clarkson is now on the pitch as well. That is not where I aimed at, is it? Let's be honest, game. Suit yourself then. Never mind, we've won it back. And a heart to Clarkson. He backs away again. Could get in a position to get a shot off here. And Clarkson does. And it's hit the man in the head. Oh. We could maybe have had a free kick down the edge of the box for a handball. But went for the goal from open play. It hasn't materialised. Tickle. Big pump. Has he touched? Not bad. Time it. Lancashire's in. Great touch. And that's what Will Lancashire does. 1-0 Bradford. We've looked like the only side really that are going to score the goal, bar that one Sellar effort off the underside of the bar that very nearly snuck over the line. Lucas Bergstrom applauding that with great vigour there. That's the goal that will surely win us the game from really the only man in our squad other than Canadu that can score goals this season. Well in, and again, get to it, haven't. They've given it back to us again anyway. Ford is in, looking for Lancashire. Lancashire will look for Bowie. He might well have drifted offside. He didn't, but the ball didn't reach him anyway. Never mind. Crowd overreacting a little bit to a 1-0 win over Championship Queen's Park Rangers, but we'll take a 1-0 win over Championship Queen's Park Rangers. We are through to the next round of the FA Cup. 4th round and counting. We've had a bid for Hoyer from Wolves of 12.2 million. Wolves might actually be a Wolves Premier League. Obviously, we're not going to accept it. Yeah, Wolves are 16th. We're above them in the league by 6 points. Currently 9 points now away from the relegation zone. Yeah, sorry Wolves, but Hoyer stays and starts for me continually. Thank you very much. If I was ever going to let him go, you'd have to offer me at least twice that, if not more, probably. And that's not going to happen. So you're not going to have him. Bottom of the table, Leeds United. Next, the Yorkshire Derby. Dean Henderson in goal for Leeds. Yellet, Garcia, Aguerd and Schmidt still their backline. Johnny Cardoso alongside Yassin Adli in the holding roles. Lasada on the right. Roger Fernandez at 86 rated on the left. So they've obviously spent some money to try and stay in the division. We'll see if it works or not. Brendan Aronson and Dom Solanke is their front line. On the bench, some to call on, but not much quality. Obviously, it's a local derby. I think we might have drawn or lost against Leeds earlier in the season, or at least last time we played them. I honestly, even when you're 7 seasons into a save, it's hard to remember even results from that one save, let alone over the course of however many years we've been doing, making content. Things really do tend to blur into one for me, I'm afraid. So my memory's not the best at the best of times. Lancashire's making a good run, but Canadu can't find him. They've given the ball straight back to us though, but they're putting the pressure on. They're pressing high here, Leeds, so we're going to have to be patient when building and make sure we play the right passes at the right times. And to be fair, I thought that was the right pass at the right time, but I just got it wrong. Aronson. Into Yella. Across to Aronson again. Solanke's making some good runs. Just trying to marshal the space. Tackle Roger Fernandez. And look at the space for Canadu to get into. Speaking of the space. Oh, but Aguerd's done really well. I was just turning inside there as the defender was about to commit to try and get it inside to Will Lancashire. Couldn't quite time it right. Jesus, what a murder attempt from someone on Clarkson. He's arrived in the tackle there faster than some of the shots we take on goal. Through the gap. Lancashire's just going to get there. Is that going to count as a foul? It's not. Schmidt gets there well. Not sure who it was. I think it was the guy I think it was Yassin Adli that put that challenge in. It's pretty disgusting. Roger Fernandez is pretty disgustingly quick, evidently, as well. Mikic is trying his best to stick with here, but Easier said than done. Aronson. Back to Johnny. Johnny Cardoso. Decent effort from Dom Solanke, but saved well. Earning his new wages. And put a tackle in, mate. Put a tackle in, mate. Aronson. Johnny Cardoso. Apparently that needed saving. I thought it was going a long way wide. Hoyer's going to utilise his pace here. And on the counter, we might be able to... Oh, wow, what a ball. Kieran Bowie's in behind. The defender is struggling. But I haven't really got anyone in a good enough position to be able to find them with a pass. Bulat, Clarkson, Kanadu can't get it to him. Adley ends up on the floor. Now here Leeds come on the counter-attack. Well, that's a lucky break. Solanke. Oh, and lays it off. Sends me to ground. And Bergstrom tips it over the top. This is end-to-end. 37th minute. It's still 0-0. Cross has come into the box. Lanxier heads up. Adley heads wide. Up we go. Good header, Kanadu. Clarkson. I see the run that Bulat made there, but just didn't get it quickly enough to him. He's a right back. Mikic will cut inside. Lanxier. Dink it. Bulat's made another good run. He's in. Oh, he's struck it very cleanly. But it's wide of the target in front of the Don Revie stand. Well, we've had chances to take the lead here, but so have they. So far, I think a draw is a fair result. But obviously with them being bottom of the table and us wanting to try and pull further clear of the relegation zone, 3 points here is really a must. It's a lovely interception. Out your feet quickly. And to Bulat. Oh, but Leeds' press is working very well for them. We'll look for Kanadu here. And then dink it for Lanxier. It's not quite going to make it through. It did hit a hand, though. It's a long way out. But is it still Bulat range? It might be. It might be. Oh! The net ripples, but only because it's gone over the bar. Aronson with the corner for Leeds. Lasada off and Sano on. He's Aged around the corner. Bowie on the break. Schmidt trying to get to me and can't. We tried this in the first half and it didn't work. Lanxier just needs to fully commit, please. And he's in. And if anyone's going to score for us, it's going to be him. And it is him. Bradford 1, Leeds 0. We've finally been able to make the breakthrough. Celebrating that close to the Leeds fans is probably not a very good idea in a local derby, but we'll take the goal. And Schmidt. He's got past me. Aronson with the option. They are immediately back level. Tom Solanke. 1-1 within moments of the kickoff. On his own in the box. We couldn't score in front of the Don Revie stand. They have. Where is the marking there? Finish is unreal, but... Right, I might make some changes here, because this isn't going according to plan. Bulat through the gap to Wadsworth. Wadsworth to Ford. 2 substitutes combined. Lanxier found. Oh, and very nearly scored just as quickly as they did on me. Back on them again. Wow. Sano. Oh, Hoyer had to get to that. That was vital. It's been such an end-to-end game. Ball's just flying up and down the pitch. The goals haven't been flying in. It's only 1-1, but dearie me. It's a fair challenge, ref. It's a shit ball, but Wadsworth has won it back. And then shown good footwork to get away from Adley. Looking for Kanadu, but he might just have drifted offside. Play continues anyway. Sano now out wide to Aronson. Working this about nicely. Still we're struggling to really make the most of bottom of the table Leeds United here. They've upped their performance levels for the derby, that's for sure. Bulat looking for, but not finding Kanadu. There's Adley now. That's a nice little cutback. And then Solanke turns well. Firm challenge from behind, but accurate as it needed to be. Otherwise, that is definitely a free kick. Wadsworth rides that challenge well and takes the advantage. Beats another man too. Looking for Shaq Ford down the line. They're asking for offside. It's not given. Lanxier came close with a chance like this earlier on. He's been wiped out, but it was in the process of winning the ball. Milian Mikic. Come on. I want a winner, please. Looking for Kanadu, who's in the box. Don Angelo. Now is the time for you to score today. 2-1 Bradford. We lead again in the derby, and this time we won't concede an equaliser. Adley. That's a ping. Nod that home. Nod it home. 3 minutes added on. Shackford's up. Shackford's down. Shackford's away. Well, run to the corner is probably the right thing to do here, so that is what I'll do. Let's make sure we get the 3 points, shall we, gents? Be a big win. Albeit only by a single goal. Ref, thank you. Victory in the local derby against Leeds United. Victory in the localish derby against Burnley as well. And victory in the cup. That is as solid an episode as we've had all season, quite frankly. And we'll take all the points we can possibly get. Burnley lose to Liverpool today as well. Spurs beat Chelsea at Stamford Bridge, which is a big result. Crystal Palace again next, which is not necessarily a game I'm looking forward to. We consolidate in 10th in the league, but our goal difference is still in the minus, and teams below us still have games in hand, and Fulham, if they win on match day 21, will at least draw level with us. If not, go above us. Everyone above has played, or most teams above have played their extra game. But very happy to be in 10th at the moment. Very happy indeed. Keeping Leeds bottom. Burnley stay second bottom. And Brentford could get themselves out of the relegation zone with just a point in their next fixture. We have, as we say, Aston Villa and Crystal Palace in the next episode. I'm not sure if there's another FA Cup game that's going to be drawn in there somewhere. Or is it going to be in February? It is in February and it's Southampton away, which is not necessarily an easy fixture either, to be completely honest. I don't believe there's been any other bids for any of our players at this stage, so I think that's where we'll call it for today. Will Lancashire is now advanced forward ++, and we could get him up one more time before the end of the season as well to 81 if we train him as a poacher, which would be great. Look forward to him continually pushing the boundaries of what our potential upper window is. At the minute, we can only sign players that are 80 rated or higher, because we were only at best 80 rated with anyone in the squad when we started this window, but we should have 81 as a top rating by the end of the season for next year, which would be great. Mikic might get there, Lancashire might get there, Kanadu might get there, Longos I don't think is going to get there, but he's still rock solid. Bulat might. Certainly players could do with a little bit of a rest at the moment, so we will give them that in the run-up to the Crystal Palace game, because after the last game we had against Palace, I'm certainly going to need as much rest as possible, aren't I? But only 4 days until that game at Selhurst Park. Join me for tomorrow's episode, where we'll finish the transfer window and see if we get any other bids for our players. Obviously, if we get bids from elite teams, then we will accept them, or negotiate them, and probably accept them. But at the moment, we've had a few bids in, but we've rejected them all thus far, and I'm happy that we're doing the right thing in the instances that we've rejected the bids thus far. That's all for today. Thank you very much for watching. I will see you tomorrow for 2 very difficult games and transfer deadline day.